Hello, everybody. Welcome to Au interviews. Today we have Lauren, who is going to talk about her experience as an au pair. Hi, Lauren, and thank you for being here.
Hi, Felicia. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to be here as well.
Thanks. So I would like to ask you a little bit about yourself. So where you're from, how old are you, what do you study, just a little background.
So I'm 23 and I'm from Scotland. I was studying digital media at the University of Stirling, but I'm now training to be a yoga teacher. So I should be qualified in August.
Wow, that's super cool.
Thanks.
And why did you want to become an au pair?
So I really wanted to become an au pair because I'm really interested in languages, and I've also done quite a bit of childcare when a few years ago. So I was learning Spanish in school, and then after school I didn't really have the chance to continue it in university. So I wanted a different kind of way, and I know that the best sort of way to learn it is to immerse yourself in that language in the country that it's spoken. So I thought the best way would be to go there and be with a family who speaks that language.
Okay, and so you left for the au pair experience. When did it happen, and where did you go exactly?
So it was in Girona, Barcelona, and it was 2018. So I went for a few days at the start of April to meet the family and to make sure that we got on okay, and we got on really well. And I had a lovely few days visiting them there. And then I went back out again in June for the summer.
Okay, and how did you meet your host family? So how did the research process go?
I found it quite easy. I was a bit apprehensive at the start because I'd never done anything like this, and because I would have been going off to a different country by myself. But the website made it really easy, and they got in contact with me, and we just had a few calls. So we started emailing first to get to know each other and what we both wanted from each of our sides, and then we started to FaceTime so we could see each other and make sure everything was okay. And then that's when they said about coming over for a few days in April to see how we get on first, which I thought was a great idea. So yeah, no, I
Yeah.
enjoyed the process.
Okay, and what were you looking for in a family? Of course, you had the language, the Spanish language as a focus, I think. Did you have any other requirements?
Not really, just that they were a kind family, that maybe there was things that I could be doing whilst I was out there. So the family that I had only had one child, and they had a dog as well. So it wasn't like super busy. There wasn't loads of kids running about, which I'm more used to. But yeah, just that they were kind and that we got on well. I felt comfortable with them, really. So
Okay. And so when you arrived to the host family to these trial days, what did you do? Did you do like the au pair task, or you just spend time with them? Did you work, or how was it organized?
So the first few days were just a bit more relaxed. When I went out in April, we just kind of ate dinner, went to the shops together. The mum was actually a primary school teacher, so she took me along when the son went to school, and I got to see kind of how that worked. And we just really spent time together those few days. Sort of did like family activities. I think we went to the swimming pool, that kind of thing. It was only 2 or 3 days I was there, so I didn't do any work, but I obviously just got to know them through that, which was really nice.
Okay. And once you arrived for the actual au pair experience, how was your day, your typical day as an au pair?
So it changed sometimes, again, because the mum was a primary school teacher. Sometimes I would actually go into school and help her. Sometimes I would be helping teach some of the classes, English or like the little ones, or be in the son's class as well to help his class. Just because, if he was in school, there'd be nobody at home to look after.
Mhm.
And then if there was days at home, he was studying science at the time as well. So I was helping him with his homework a lot, with his science homework. And I would do like a few hours a day of sit down study with science and English. And then the rest of the time was mainly I had to just speak in English with him and make sure that he spoke it back to me, and obviously just looked after him if the parents were away. Um, there was a leisure centre nearby, so we often went there together. Sometimes I would take the son alone as well, or we'd go on a walk or something. Um, but a typical day to day was just a few hours of studying, and then we'd always eat together. I met the grandfather as well, so I was really sort of part of their family, which is lovely.
Yeah, that's very nice. And how did
Yeah,
you get along with the kid?
yeah, really well. I think he was 11 at the time, so he was a bit like, oh, why is this like girl in our house, you know? But as we got to know each other, it was really nice. I met a couple of his friends as well, which was nice too. But yeah, we got on really well. He was quite good at studying and just sitting down, because you never really know how you're going to get on. I'd understand from his point of view, me being like I think I was 20 at the time.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, we got on really well, and the parents were really nice too. So
Okay. And so did you have the chance to speak Spanish the entire time you spent with the family?
I did, yes. Usually what they said was in the evening times I would speak Spanish with them. So for most of the day, especially when the sun was around, it would be English, but then in the evenings I would speak Spanish. And it's funny because I actually started to forget English words. The mum didn't really speak any English, but the dad spoke fluent English. So um, often the mum would be pointing at like a jug, and I actually couldn't remember the name in English.
Yeah, but that's cool. It
So
means that you
yeah.
were really into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
And did you have the chance to go to a language course as well?
No, that's not something I actually did when I was out there. They lived in quite a rural area. I think there was the chance, but I was like a lot less confident back then. I'm a lot more confident now. So if I went back now, I'd definitely do that. But to be honest, I got a lot of practice even just from being at home or when I went to the supermarket, speaking in Spanish, which really helped.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And how was summer in Spain? Did you consider this as an holiday as well, or was it just focusing on your peer tasks and work?
I would say it was a bit of a holiday as well. I got really lucky with the family, because we did go on some trips. I think we went to like the centre of Barcelona, um, and my boyfriend actually came to visit for a couple of days, which was really lovely of them. So we all, would go out for dinner. We went on maybe like, to the coffee shops and like I said, the leisure centre. So we did do things like that, which is really nice. So, some days was like work, but I didn't really feel like it was work that much, even when I was in the school, because I was just having so much fun. So
Okay. Okay, that's very nice to hear. And well, what about, apart from the language, the cultural shock? Did you experience anything which you thought was pretty different from your own culture and that shocked you? Or more or less your lifestyle was okay adapting in the context?
it is quite different. I've been to Spain a few times before, but I'd never like, worked there or been there for that long. So I think what I notice about there is that things are a lot more relaxed. When I was the days that I would work in the primary school, if the son was still in class, all the teachers would go to a coffee shop nearby just in the middle of the day and just have a coffee together. And here that's just not a thing. You just stay in school, probably keep to yourselves. So I definitely noticed that people are very more family orientated and social, and there's always events going on in the evenings. Having the grandfather around for dinner. I just thought it was really nice how like meal times or coffees were spent with other people, not just by yourself. So that was probably something I noticed the most. Yeah, just like a more relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay, so you had the chance to experience the culture from the inside also, which is one of the
Hmm.
points of the au pair program.
Yeah.
Um, and after the au pair experience, how do you think it helped you in the job market or in the studies? Did you find some competencies that you acquired kind of useful for your future and also for your present?
Absolutely, yeah. It was the first time that I'd traveled alone as an been on a plane and things like that alone, but I'd never been in another country by myself. So I was quite nervous about doing that. But after, I was so much more confident, and not even just, I was speaking the language better. I was more confident in traveling by myself, and it made me want to go travel more as well. So I think confidence was the biggest thing for me. And also knowing that I can go out there and do things like that, like, look after um or help look after a family that doesn't even speak my language. It's yeah, that filled me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
Which
that's a big
around
thing.
today. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about going a little back to the profile? So is there any advice or anything you would suggest to other au pairs to complete their profile, like in order to find a family quite quickly? What did your profile have that you think was kind of good?
I'd say being honest and pictures and your experiences, the more information you put out there, the easier it's going to be for people to find you. So I think being totally honest with who you are and what you're looking for, whether that's saying, like at the time I spoke Spanish fairly fluently, but if I had said I spoken it completely fluently and then I got out there and I didn't, it would have been a bit awkward. But yeah, being honest, giving lots of information about you, and also the things that you like to do, maybe like some of your hobbies and interests, because maybe the kids that you're looking after, if they like painting and you really like art, then you know that you'll get on well. And pictures as well. So, maybe past experiences that you've had, or just to get a better like picture of who you are and what your life's like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what was the most memorable moment you lived during your au pair experience?
Oh, I think it was when we went out to, it was like a salsa night. There was something happening in the square near where the house was, and we all went out and we were having like some coffees and then some food, and everyone was just dancing, and I remember just feeling like just really kind of homely at the time. And that was like a very cultural experience for me, but I felt like I was with my family, which is a really nice feeling, because that's definitely what you want to feel like. You want to feel like as if you were their son or daughter, when you're there. So that was a big memory for me. Yeah.
Okay, that's super nice also. Okay, I have just a couple of questions more to ask you. Going back again to the culture shock, is there something that you found kind of negative about the whole experience? Maybe the organization or some aspects, some bureaucratical aspects, or more or less you liked it overall?
I don't think there was anything negative. I think I got really lucky with my au pair family. They were really nice to me. We were really honest with each other. They were really helpful, and so was the organization as well. I don't remember ever feeling, worried or scared about what was happening. Like there was always that good communication. Not that I can think of, no.
Okay. And is there something you wish somebody would have told you before beginning this whole experience?
Um, I would say I wish that I had done more when I was there. So like I wish I had done a language course or seeked more. So I would recommend um looking into the place that you're going to if you've never been there before, and finding out what's happening around about the place that you're living in, so that maybe you've got some things on your list that you want to do, because if the family ask you if there's anything that you want to go and do, it would be good, because that's something I didn't do, and that's one of my regrets, because there was some days, and I wish I had done more, making the most of my time out there.
Okay. Well, maybe you have the chance to go back to Girona and just enjoy the city and the life there. So
Yeah, definitely.
who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any advice you would give to future au pairs, or maybe who is about to start its experiences abroad?
So I would say get to know the family well. Maybe speak to a couple of different families. Make sure that you're going to find the right one for you, because you will be spending a lot of time with them. Have some FaceTime calls with them. And if you do have the opportunity to go and visit them for days before you go for your full time, I would say that's really useful. And honestly, just go out and have fun, because you will have a great time.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the trial weekend or trial days are very useful. Unfortunately, it's not always possible if you have visa issues or if you have to travel overseas. That's a bit more complicated. But
Mhm.
being in a European Union, for example, that's an advantage for who is still in the European Union, of
Yeah.
course. So yeah,
Yeah.
that would be recommended as well. That's a very good idea. And yes,
Mhm.
that's a very cool suggestion as well.
Yeah,
Okay, so I have one last question for you, which would be, would you do it again if you have the chance to relive this?
absolutely. Yes, I would do it again.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you have any plans maybe for the future will bring you, which will bring you back to Spain?
Yeah, I actually really want to live in Spain for part of my life, whether that's the rest of it or sometime soon, to again get more immersed in the language, because I find it hard being here where no one really speaks it. So I definitely like to go back. And if that means au pairing, then yeah, I'd love to do it.
Okay, so I wish you good luck with this future plan. I wish you could do it again. So it's a very nice experience. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the end of our interview, and I would like to thank you again for your time and your all your things you said and the suggestions and advice. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you too.